Good morning, friends. Welcome back to Astrology Today and Tarot. My name is Mel Rose. This is the Tarot portion and the second half of my daily astrology vlog, which you can check out on my other channel, Astrology Today with Mel Rose. Here, I will discuss the tarot card that sits on the side of the page. I'll do a quick review of the day's aspects, and then I'll play another card that may give us something more to think about. So let's get into it. The card that currently sits on the side of the page is the Six of Wands. And the Six of Wands is there because it relates directly to the second decan, or the second 10 days, of the sun's transit in the land of Leo. Leo is a fire sign. Wands and Tarot are fire. And so fire element symbolism is about spirit, enthusiasm, spark, drive, passion. It can be about impatience and impetuousness and restlessness, whatever these feelings are that kind of get us up and make us want to act, move to achieve some aim. So here with the Six of Wands, we find a person who has followed their drive and their determination and their passion and their spark, and they have made an achievement. And it's a big achievement because you can see that the laurel wreaths have been laid on their head and their staff, and the whole town has turned out to celebrate them as they ride in. So this is appropriate if you've put yourself through a lot, if you've put a lot of drive and perseverance and enthusiasm into reaching some goal, and especially if it was something that was turned out to be good, not just for you, but for the whole community. It's good to celebrate yourself for a minute, and it's also good to let the people around you celebrate. You can even see this V sort of in the middle here, but when I was looking at this earlier today, what I also saw was, okay, so that's a V. These two could come together to be a V. These two could come together to be a V. So this kind of indicates we're in the middle of all of our victories. Okay, we're not done having victories. Okay, so when you have had this celebration, when you've patted yourself on your back, had your feast, allowed people to celebrate you, understand that that's because you have victories behind you and you have victories ahead of you. All right, there's more to be done. We can't just rest back on our laurels and enjoy the fruits of that victory forever. What we can do is we can take any political, social, financial, or material capital that we have gained from that victory and parlay it into another pursuit and another aspiration, and therefore eventually another great achievement. And with all of that said, I'm going to shuffle some cards and remind myself and the cards that the sun is in Leo. This is our time to shine. I know I say that every time, but that's really the sun in Leo right now. That's the way it comes across to us. So when the sun is sort of reigning supreme in the land of Leo, where it is the king, okay, it bestows these blessings on us. Confidence, we're effective, we're passionate, we're charming, and we can see that about ourselves, and we can make use of those attributes. Okay, these are very potent gifts that are given to us by the sun and by fire signs in general, and they help us connect with others, and they help us pursue our passions, pursue the things that we'd like to achieve. The moon starts in Capricorn today, making ingress to Aquarius this afternoon, and it's a waxing gibbous. It'll be full tomorrow. Okay, so we're finalizing these actions we've taken to culminate certain goals. Tomorrow we'll pause to reflect and celebrate and appreciate what we've done so far. The moon in Aquarius brings us out into the community, inviting us to celebrate among our friends and allies. On the moon side of the page today, you can see that we have a lot going on. Early this morning, moon goes trine to Mars, and this feels really fierce and bold and courageous. It can even be protective. And it's all about the heart and home. Okay, so the actions that we take at this time from the heart are blessed because of that nice trine aspect. That means positive things will come from it, and it's just going to feel like it unfolds very easily. Moon goes sextile to Neptune then at 5:45 this morning, and this makes us more sensitive to the energies of the people around us. The sextile aspect indicates cooperation and generation of good outcomes. So you can use the energetic information, the intuitions you're receiving to co-create something beautiful with somebody. Moon goes conjunct to Pluto then at about 8:45 this morning. This is a moody vibe, okay? We might find ourselves sort of going from one extreme of emotion to another, and that conjunct aspect amplifies and intensifies the feel of both of those planets, the Moon, our feelings, and Pluto. In this case, the feelings that Pluto brings up is often fear and insecurity, because it brings us to endings and beginnings. So it's about the ending that we that we fear seeing too soon, or the insecurity about what's going to come next. And then still this morning at 11:39, Moon goes opposite to Venus. And I had this down as a self-care challenge, but I read today something that said self-care is not self-indulgence, it is self-preservation. And especially with the Moon in opposition to Venus, this can be really a self-preservation challenge, because it turns up the feelings of need and desire to maybe even come across as more needy and greedy in us, okay? And if we come across to other people as needy and greedy, it might not be a very good look. It might be kind of hard to get what it is that we're looking for. So I suggest that we should do what we feel we have to do to get what we felt like we needed, without, first of all, lowering our standards, or second of all, breaking any of our commitments. Our votive course is only 45 minutes today. It's relatively brief. We use this time to reflect, to journal, to read, meditate, otherwise connect with ourselves and with spirit for that important soul work we have to do, the important conversations we have to have with ourselves. And while the Moon is void, of course, today, it will also reach its perigee. And that makes all the feelings all that more intense, okay? The Moon is currently as close as it gets to us. Its proximity gives it increased influence on water, on the rivers, the tides, and even on our own emotional and intuitive faculties, okay? So this is another sort of mood swing vibe here, okay? Suggesting that we may feel a lot of things and notice it all more intensely, strongly than usual. And then at 1:45 this afternoon, Moon goes into Aquarius. This is a time when we look out beyond our personal stability and satisfaction to check in with our family, our friends, and our allies, and our work cohorts. When we all work together, we can achieve so much more than we do when we're on our own. So there are a few things in the ongoing column today. Neptune is retrograde through December 23 and currently transiting Pisces, inviting us to see the difference between our fantasies and realities. And that doesn't mean like throw your dreams and fantasies in the trash because they're not real. It just means you can tell the difference. And it really puts you in a powerful position, because if I can tell the difference between my fantasy and my reality, then I know which direction to walk from here to get from my reality to living something closer to my dreams, right? Venus is trine to Neptune here, and this says whatever we seek to create is really blessed, okay? So especially singing is encouraged at this time, but any kind of creation that you make, especially creations that indicate what it is that we are trying to draw in terms of attention, affection, goods, services, compensation, gifts, dream on it. Create something, okay? Venus is sextile to Mars here as well. And that's a very generative, sort of creative vibe. So both of those together just say, yes, you can work together, you can collaborate. Again, finding our friends, right? Going out in the world and finding our allies, working with other people, collaborate to create something beautiful and new. While you're dreaming, that could really generate something beautiful and positive. Now, Mars is square to Saturn, which is retrograde. Saturn retrograde wants to know, are we showing up and doing what we can for our communities and collectives? But Mars in the square position here says, don't push too hard, okay? Whatever it is you're dreaming and trying to create, whatever you're trying to get, don't work too hard for it, okay? The stuff that we can work for right now is going to come very easily. And if we find ourselves in a situation where we are trying to push hard and not really go anywhere, then, it's time to pull back and think about another approach, get a little creative about it. But definitely Saturn will pull a halt to any labors that it deems to be too much at this time. And then Venus is also in opposition to Pluto. Don't listen to your envy, okay? Don't listen to your jealousy. Don't listen to that part of you that says, I'm not going to get what I want because that person over there is getting what I want, right? That person over there getting what they want should be proof and indication to us that we can have it. Not the thing that they have, but the thing that we would like to have that is similar to what they have, right? So just stay in this very positive space of fantasizing, thinking up your ideals, your ideal partner, your ideal job, your ideal living situation. Think about those things. Think about what you would like to create in those terms, and don't listen to your envy sitting there telling you you can't have it because somebody else already got it. Also, North Node is conjunct to Uranus, shifting availability of resources. So, here we have this sort of envy aspect that says, we see other people getting things that we'd like to have, and it can perhaps give us an anxiety that we're not going to get what we would like to have because somebody else has it already. This says, it's just not as easy to get the things that we rely on to feel supported at this time, the sort of goods and services that we want to get. It's just shifting a lot. It's changing. The trajectory toward those things is changing. So we have to remain grateful for what we have and also remain flexible about how we're going to go about getting the stuff that we like, love, and can't get enough of. And then Mercury is quincunx to Jupiter. Jupiter is in retrograde right now. And it's almost like all this other retrograde work we're doing, these deep and total changes that Pluto is taking us through. Chiron's retrograde is talking to us about having to tear down our defenses, open up a little bit. And then Neptune is like, yeah, and you're going to see the difference between your dreams and reality. Okay. So, Jupiter is here to sort of nourish us, to encourage us personally and on the inside, to show us where we can expand and adjust to become bigger, to contain the sort of new, bigger, better version of ourselves that we are becoming. Mercury's quincunx there, though, says, don't get too optimistic, all right? Optimism that fails to read the fine print can really be a problem for us at this time, okay? So ask the questions, read the fine print, or maybe just don't sign the contract until we've had a few days to think about it. And then Chiron is retrograde. Again, that's about letting down those defenses and perhaps giving ourselves a little more grace to let what is in the past, to allow what's in the past to be in the past. And then the sun goes trine to Chiron, and it says, when we do that, when we do this work of expanding, when we do this work of seeing, when we do this work of allowing ourselves to go through changes, of allowing ourselves to be held accountable for the stuff that, we can and should be contributing. When we do all of that, we shine in a different way, okay? The work that we're doing is starting to shine through in our outer life, in our personality at this time. That trine is a real blessing that says, that Spirit is going to allow us to show up in a way that doesn't say, hey, look, I did all this work and you all should recognize me for it, Leo style, but really less heavy-handed than that. It just says, I found out that it is much more work to cover up my light than just to let it shine. And when we just stop covering up our light and allow it to shine, we gain these blessings of sort of power and charm and potency from the sun. And with all of that said, I'm going to turn this card. Oh, I got the Knight of Cups. I think we've gotten that one before. So the Knight of Cups is about being in touch with how you feel. And also being in touch with your intuitive capacity or your capability, okay? You see the stream running in the background. That's water in motion. So water is emotion and it's intuition. And water in motion, it's almost like you can see where this is going, right? You can feel something in the moment that tells you, I see what's going on here. and I can see where we are going with it. Okay, so, trust your intuition, right? Especially here, this Venus trine Neptune, if you can see where your intuitions are taking you, that's really, truly a blessed way to be. And at this time, you really are given the capacity to fantasize and dream and even create new things that take you in that direction. So the clarity that you're being offered is really golden at this time. You can see all the gold on the card there. And, also be in touch with your sense of jealousy and envy. Be in touch with your anxiety about, your ability to get what you need. Be in touch with it so that you understand it, okay? Embrace it, love it a little bit, and say, yes, I am a petty person in some ways, but also I have faith in what my intuition is telling me, and I have faith in my ability to create something positive for myself. Don't become overly optimistic, all right? But definitely let that light shine. And these are both fire right now. This is Leo and Aries right now. But still, part of letting your light shine is being emotional about the things you're emotional about, or being intuitive about the things you're intuitive about, and not really trying to hide that from people, okay? Like the Knight of Cups isn't trying to hide their cup, right? The Knight of Cups rides in on a horse carrying this cup. It looks almost like very carefully, I don't want to spill this this capacity that I have. I just want to share it. So I see two horses here kind of riding in the same direction with the Six of Wands. I characterize fire as being feelings that spur us into action. And cups are also feelings that spur us into action in a different way. The fire is those feelings like enthusiasm and determination, whereas the cups are more like those feelings of caring about things, loving things, desiring to create new things. With that Venus sextile Mars right now, you bring your cup and you can definitely get it filled. You can definitely create something beautiful and new. But with them both riding in one direction, I kind of want to see more cups. So we're moving toward a world of beautiful options. Okay? And sometimes, those options look better on the outside than they do on the inside, but this is just really, again, our chance to dream up what it is that we would like to create for ourselves, dream up what we would like to have for ourselves, whether it's idealism about love, or idealism about money, or having nice things, or just idealism about, the people that we want to be around, or the kind of work we'd like to get done in the world. So, ride those ambitions and also ride those intuitions, and give a lot of thought to what it is that you are expanding into, what you would like to be, do, and have moving forward. And, with that card comes also the potential for illusion, right? So again, look at those options. Know when jealousy is an option. Know when anxiety is an option, and understand that you don't have to choose those every time, right? And you don't have to choose to be overly optimistic either. Understand that all these cups are feelings and intuitions, right? So, you don't have to choose every single one. All of the options that are available, some of them are not going to be as good for us as others. So be discerning, friends. And I believe that's all I have to say about it today. Thank you so much for joining me. I truly appreciate your presence. My name is Mel Rose, and I'll see you all back here tomorrow for more Astrology Today and Tarot.